Well, thousands of people in the New South Wales Northern Rivers region are reliving the trauma of the disastrous flooding that struck the region exactly 12 months ago today. Senior reporter Adam Walters has travelled to the region for the record flood's first anniversary.
Aidan Ricketts stands tall among the heroes of Lismore. He's an admiral in a flotilla of rescue boats described by locals with typical bush humour as the Tinny Army.
The community will always be the first responders, but the community's good at that. It's already there, it's got equipment, it's got connections, it knows who each other are. So that happens.
And it did happen. The courage of Aidan and his fellow volunteers saved hundreds of lives, rescuing the helpless and frail from rooftops.
The most difficult was a 92-year-old lady just across the way there, and her sons. They contacted me straight up. You know, they're my neighbours, I know them very well. But you know, we had to get a frail old lady out of a window and into a tinny, and that was myself and my 24-year-old daughter were having to do that.
The whole while they had to navigate a dangerous web of submerged power lines after the Wilsons River rose to a record 14.4 metres.
Look, there's a lot of really unusual navigation risks. The water's completely opaque, you can't see more than 4 inches into it.
On the first anniversary of the flood, thousands are reliving the trauma of a day that continues to jeopardise their futures.
As a 51-year-old woman with very little super, you know, it's quite a daunting position to be in, having so much debt and not knowing if my house has got any value left in it. So that's concerning. So I don't feel like I'm in a position I feel stuck. That's what it comes down to, I feel stuck.
As the inundation of Lismore was receiving worldwide headlines, there was no such saturation coverage for the flooding of communities downstream. And the locals in towns such as Woodburn and Wardell on the Richmond River are still fighting for the attention they know their ongoing plight deserves.
So the trauma stays with you. It's not only their physical surroundings, it's their emotional well-being and their ability to connect to services that are largely being forgotten about.
Schoolteacher Deisha Rose and her teenage son lost their Woodburn home and were among hundreds taken by boat to higher ground at nearby Evans Head.
It was like an ocean of water with just roofs showing all the way to Evans Head.
As Sarah Robertson prepared for the worst on the Tweed River, she sent her 10 and 8-year-old sons to Wardell to be looked after by their grandparents.
My mum said, you know, do you want us to take the boys as well, my two little boys? And I said, yeah, you know, for sure that'd be nice.
But her parents were forced to evacuate when their 150-year-old recently renovated home was swallowed by the Richmond River.
Young Josh turned up in one of the trawlers and picked up the kids.
Mark Robertson said the community continues to suffer and the stress recently claimed a good friend.
A friend of ours died of a heart attack just the other day. The stress had him. He was stressed. He was stressed.
And the struggle continues for thousands of others trying to rebuild their lives and relocate their homes to higher ground. In Lismore, Adam Walters, Sky News.